Hey everyone, have you ever run into this frustrating situation before? You suddenly need to use the remote, but when you open it up, one of the batteries is missing and there's only a single battery left inside. And no matter how much you look around, there are no spare batteries nearby. Today I'm going to share a super simple replacement trick that can help get the remote working temporarily when you really need it. Not many people realize that this simple little pencil can actually be surprisingly useful in situations like this. You only need to adjust the size slightly, then place it into the empty battery slot as a temporary replacement. The principle behind it is quite simple. The graphite core inside the pencil can conduct a small amount of electricity, so when it touches the battery terminals inside the remote, it helps maintain the electrical connection temporarily so the remote can still work. It's honestly a pretty smart solution when you cannot find a replacement battery right away. Alright, that's done. Now I'm going to test it out and see how well this trick actually works in real use. Honestly, it may look super simple, but sometimes these quick little solutions can be surprisingly helpful when you need something urgently. This trick worked successfully, and the remote is working normally again. But I'm not stopping here yet, because next I'm going to try using a cleaning scrubbing pad to create a pretty interesting mini antenna device. It may sound simple, but the result might actually surprise you. Alright, let's get started. Here I have a male electrical plug, and it's going to act as the main body of this antenna device. This part will both connect to the signal receiving section and link with the signal collecting section to form a complete structure. It may look very simple, but sometimes these kinds of creative setups work better than you might expect. This is a copper wire covered with an insulating layer on the outside, and now I'm going to cut it into two separate pieces to connect the electrical plug with the signal receiving section. Copper is commonly used in electronic devices because it conducts electricity and transfers signals very efficiently, helping the signal travel more steadily with less loss during transmission. The insulated outer layer also helps keep the setup cleaner and safer during assembly. To make the structure more flexible and better at reducing vibration, I'm going to coil these two copper wires into a spring shape. This design not only helps reduce shaking from movement or light impacts, but also makes the connection more stable and secure during use. It seems like I still haven't explained the signal receiving mechanism to you yet. Basically, this cleaning scrubbing pad is made from many small metallic fibers woven together, so when it is used as the main signal receiving part, it creates multiple contact points that help capture surrounding signals more effectively. After that, the signal is transferred through the copper wires into the device. Of course, this is still just a simple experimental setup, but the working principle behind it is actually pretty interesting. There's probably nothing more suitable to replace the base of this antenna device than a portable power outlet. It not only helps support and stabilize the entire upper structure, but also provides a convenient point for connecting the coaxial signal cable. Because of that, the whole setup ends up looking much cleaner and more stable overall. Here I have a section of coaxial cable, and now I'm going to prepare one end first so it can connect to the power outlet section of the device. The remaining end will be prepared later to connect to the TV for signal reception. This type of cable is commonly used for stable signal transmission thanks to the copper core inside and the shielding layer around the outside, which helps reduce signal loss and interference during transmission. This is a straight F-type cable connector, and now I'm going to connect one side of it to the coaxial cable first. The other side will be fitted with an additional 90-degree F connector to make the connection to the TV more convenient. This setup not only helps keep the cable arrangement cleaner, but also reduces excessive cable bending that could affect signal transmission quality. Before connecting the device to the TV, I'll check it first so you can see that the TV is currently showing no signal, to avoid any suspicion that the result has been altered or faked. After spending some time observing and testing it again, I realized that this antenna device performed even better than I originally expected. It's honestly fascinating that with only a few simple everyday items, we can still create a device capable of receiving signals quite reliably. Sometimes the real value of DIY tricks is not about completely replacing professional equipment, but about creativity, resourcefulness, and the experience of experimenting in real life. If you found this video interesting, make sure to keep following along because there are still plenty of unusual ideas that I want to try together with all of